Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crossover Podcast. I'm here today with another album review, and I am going to be talking about Saheem today, SahBabii's latest release, his first album release in 3 years. He's kind of been quiet ever since the release of Do It For Demon in 2021, and that was kind of what first introduced me to him. Of course, I knew him from the breakout, blow-up, viral hit, Pull Up With The Stick, back in 2016, 2017. But outside of that, until I had heard Do It For Demon, I didn't really know too much about him. And I liked a few songs off Do It For Demon, and I went and listened to Barnacles, and I like SahBabii. I think he brings a refreshing voice to hip-hop, and I think that, as soon as I heard that Saheem was dropping, which he didn't really have much promo for, he announced it a few days before it came out, but I was excited when I heard that. And actually, outside of Lost in My Feelings, which went viral last year, was released May of 2023, and it kind of went viral for its memorable lyrics and sound effects, for a lack of a better term. But other than that, there was really not much promo. It's filled with witty lyricism, quotables, and kind of that carefree approach to rap that SahBabii is known for. But let's just hop right into it. So the opener to the album, Don Quan Intro, was kind of a minimalistic production, very calming strings, and SahBabii had kind of a more laid-back approach on this song. I think it was a really good intro, and it was a nice way to open it up. But immediately after, he comes out with Viking, which he's very fiery and charismatic on there. He experimented with a deep voice, which we kind of hear throughout the album, which I really enjoyed. And it's a beat that just really makes you want to move. The flows are catchy. It's nonstop. He's really going at the beat. And it sounds like he has something to prove on this one. And I think it's a very strong opener. It's definitely one of my favorites off the album. And it really kind of sets the tone, I think, for what this album has in store. Then moving on to another one of my favorites, Anaconda Livin', which is the fourth track, I believe. It has melodic production. There's a vocal sample that's kind of going on. It creates an atmosphere. It's very spacey, and it's very infectious. It has a catchy chorus, and that's kind of another theme. He's really has a knack for these catchy choruses and kind of lines and verses that that are on repeat, and that kind of stick in your head from first listen. So All the Way is another fun track. It reminds me a lot of early Young Thug. He's just kind of changing vocal inflections, a lot of carefree bars, and it's just a different approach than, like I've said before, it's a different approach than what we're used to in rap. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air, especially in tracks like All the Way, which he's just kind of having fun with, which I enjoy. So Kodak is the start of a really impressive 3-song run. His rapping is really good. This is some of his best rap out of the entire album, in my opinion. He's using that deep voice that he's experimented with. It's a very hard-hitting beat, and it transitions perfectly into the next song, track 8, which is Belt Boys. Atmospheric production with very snappy drums, very loud hitting 808s. The chorus, once again, the chorus is Belt Boys, Belt Boys, Belt Boys. Like, that's been on repeat in my head, and he just has this ability to make the song stick in your head, and it's a fun approach, and it's really unlike anything that I've heard this year. Very melodic flows, laid back, chill atmosphere, and leading right after that into track 9, which is Every Day. It's dreamy, ambient production, very catchy flows once again. He's mixing in different types of deliveries. He's also using the deeper vocal inflection. And what I enjoy so much is that he's kind of giving you a bit of everything. The album's cohesive, but Sah is giving you kind of a banger like Viking, but then he also has more melodic sounds like Every Day, and then he also has a fun song like All the Way. It's just in total, and I'll speak more on this in the end, but it's just very impressive the variety of songs that he was able to incorporate into this album while also staying cohesive. So, moving on, another one of my favorites is Mirror Picz. It has very bubbly production, snappy hi-hats, and an upbeat flow. It's kind of unserious. It's like asking his woman to send him mirror pictures, and
take a mirror picture.
He has these ad libs that really fill the space and they make the song a lot more enjoyable. And especially on this song, he's going in with the more deep voice ad libs at times, and it's really catchy and really, really infectious. As I've said before, it's just a really infectious song, and it's one that's been on repeat for me. It's my favorite handful of tracks from this one that's been on repeat ever since drop last Friday. So, it's kind of switching gears here to 1095 Osborne, which is an example of how Sah is really able to switch up the type of music he is making. So then we move to 1095 Osborne, which is another one of my favorites, and it has that atmospheric production once again, but it's more laid back. He has a melodic delivery, and there's these sporadic bell chimes that are very soothing, and it kind of puts you at peace. And it's more of a softer delivery, kind of a singing type of delivery, but it's showing his range, and this is one of my favorite songs on the album. It's very introspective, and I do think that the introspection is a little bit underrated on this album. He does have some more introspective parts, but that he incorporates all with his signature kind of goofy lines, which I think is a big strength of his, is his ability to kind of mix and match the subject matter and be able to, be very introspective, like we saw on Do It for Demon, his last album, but also mix it in with fun, because it really makes for an enjoyable listen. So overall, I believe that this is his most cohesive album to date, and I think, honestly, it would be hard for me to pick even 3 songs that don't deserve to be on here, like that don't fit. Yes, there are some songs on the project that I don't love, but I'm not sure if there's one bad song on here. And as I've been saying, the variety of tracks that are on here is very wide. There's bangers, there's melodic songs, and I keep saying atmospheric production because this is very like synth heavy, kind of chill pads, low key drums where he's just flowing. His flows are so impressive on this album, and it really shows his skill as a rapper. I think he's very underrated. SahBabii is one of the best flowing rappers, I would say, in the game right now. And I have a bad habit of overreacting to albums that I hear on first listen, and I really, really love this last Friday when I first tuned in. But to be completely honest, it has not lost its value at all. If anything, I've only enjoyed it more the more I've listened to it. And I think that definitely goes to show how good this project is. I also enjoyed the creativity and the experimentation that he did with different voices, because at times that could be lost. There are only a few artists who really are willing to kind of step outside of their comfort zone and really experiment and try something new. And people online are saying, oh, like he gave Cardi the deep voice, he does a better deep voice than Cardi, but honestly, I don't want to say he does, but it's up there. It's really good. And it's like a breath of fresh air. His deliveries and his flows remind me a lot of early Young Thug. The kind of attitude that he kind of comes into his songs with, not taking himself too seriously, trying different things, mixing up the flows, different vocal inflections. and it's really good, and I think that it's reflecting because I've only seen positive reviews on this, and especially on Friday when it dropped, people were raving about this album, and I was too. I'm really impressed with this album. So I think in modern rap, there are some really good albums that are somewhat carried by their production. And there are some rappers that need good production, but I don't think that this is one of those albums. I really believe that SahBabii stole the show, and he had great performances on almost every single track. And yes, the production was really good. The production was even great. It added to the listening experience. I think there were a lot of songs where I was like, wow, SahBabii is really good on this one, but production, and you couple it together, and that's what makes a great album. Overall, SahBabii really impressed me, and for this reason, I'm gonna have to give the album an 8.4 out of 10. People might see the name and think that that's too high, but I think an 8.4 is perfect for this album. If you listen to this the whole way through, I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Because I really enjoyed it, and anyone who hasn't should definitely give it a try. I don't think you would regret it. But that's all I have today. A shorter video, short review. Hopefully get some pods out over Thanksgiving break. Be back with back at home, back with everyone. And yeah, if you listened, what do you think? How'd you like the album? What are some of your favorite songs? What would you rate it? Do you agree with me? Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, everything. And I'll see you guys in the next video.